Righto, just finished putting some new fuel lines on. I took the original, or my modified, fuel tap off from the other side because it wouldn't stop weeping. I drilled it out because the flow wasn't big enough for this engine. This is 1,000, the originals are 650s, so this needs a lot more fuel. Where the balance pipe used to go, there's a little stub sticking out on this side of the tank and one on the other side poking out, and there was a pipe between the two. Now I've taken that off, and this fuel line comes from the other side. I've just washed it. This fuel line comes from that stub the other side through a filter, and there's another one. Probably can't see it. There's another one there coming from this side, so they're nice gentle bends to a Y piece to a fuel tap. Ooh. I can turn off once the seat's on. The seat sort of comes in, it's quite high, so I can still get my hand in there, turn the fuel on. That goes to another Y piece, and then brand new fuel lines each side. The fuel tap used to be there, but you can see it's taken the paint off where it was just weeping, which has really annoyed me. And because I haven't got a fuel tap with a reserve, I put this on a few years ago. That's about a gallon, 2 gallons, 3 gallons full up. I've got a connection underneath. I've wired into the lights, a waterproof connector. I can just plug the other side in. I've got it in the garage with a little strip of like flexible LEDs, so at night it lights this up and I can see how much petrol is left. The bottom end of this is an AN fitting that I drilled a hole, put it through the tank, and then had to get a washer down inside there. It's dark, you can't see it, my torch has just run out. Let's see if I stand out the way. I can't see through this lens. It's just glinting in the bottom of the tank, and then I drilled the neck, put a bit of rubber in, bent a bit of copper. This thing, when the rubber dries out, I have to keep putting rubber lube on it. When the rubber dries out, it's an absolute pig to get off. So that's that. Where is that little? Where is he? There he is. Is that him? That's the little plug. You can't see it. Oh, my hand's in the way. Oh. That there. That's one of these waterproof plugs. I can just plug in for my LEDs. I just dropped the fuel bowls off to prime these up, because even though all of this is below the bottom of the tank, still didn't want to prime, so I just took that clip off, dropped the fuel bowl off, held the float up, let the float go, and the petrol just primed up lovely, both sides. So hopefully that'll all be good. Just give it a wash, because I haven't washed it since last year's Dragon Rally. There was mud all over it, still mud on the tyres, bits and pieces. Took the Himalayan this year, good old Dragon. Cut down my original screen. The buffeting was horrendous with the original. I'm only 5'10", and the buffeting from that screen was bloody terrible. My friend gave me a screen that he cut down to this line, but it didn't really protect the clocks or any of the electrics, which is this screen here. Which way up does it go? That way up. You can see it's very short. I needed a screen so I could get my Dragon beyond the screen. He's still got mud on him from last year. Where was he last year? I think he was on the I think he was on there last year. It's got wings and horns and everything. It's groovy. So he comes out to play, and he sat behind that screen. Just cable tied him around that post, put the screen on. That was all good. Had to wash all the salt water off of that because where they've been gritting the roads, it was just horrendous. I didn't have the top box for the rally. Nice piece of plywood. Look at that. But I had my tent and a chair, folding chair. That's my tent. Just drying out the fly sheet. Folding chair. Big old 5-season sleeping bag. Very nice. And a ground sheet the other side. Kept it out of the way of the exhaust. So I just had one thing this side, two things that side, sleeping bag on the back. That's all I took, and a rucksack with just a, ooh, tell you what, got one of these little alcohol burners. They're great, but the stand you get with it, you're supposed to sit the alcohol burner in there and put your pots on there. My cup was too small and it just flopped down inside that holder. So how did I do it? Oh, I had that upside down. When it's got a smaller hole in the bottom, you can see where it's been burnt. And it took an absolute age to boil the water. A little titanium mug. So when I came home, I had some stainless steel strapping, and just very quickly to see if it worked, I just sort of smashed out one of them, and it does work. The cup sits on there quite nicely. So now I'm going to start making a nicer sort of, cut a lot of the meat off it and make some decent holes, not just these horrendous. I mean, I just wanted to see if the principle worked. Obviously get the height right for the cutouts in the middle, so I didn't do it properly. But I mean, once it's on there, it all sits level. I'm trying to do this with the camera. And it does boil the water pretty quickly. Lovely little thing. It's a knockoff of, I can't remember the name. But these, because it's got a seal, once you put the top on, you can actually store your liquid that you haven't used, put it all away, put the snuff lid on it. Once that goes on, it goes on the top. Put it in the bag. Just take a little bottle of this stuff, bioethanol, because a lot of these, there's no lids. You get a snuff lid, a snuffy outy lid, but you don't get a screw-on cap. This is a knockoff. I can't remember what they're called. Begins with T, but it's really good. Give it a couple of minutes to prime. Now that's burning. You can just about see the yellow. Yeah, you can see it flickering. It was on earlier. I made myself a coffee. But in the daylight, if the sun was out now, even though we're in the garage, you wouldn't see that flame. You wouldn't see it at all. And you have to let it prime for a few minutes so that these holes start. It doesn't fire out. It's still a lazy flame, but once that's on it, job's a good one. You need a pair of pliers to take that off though afterwards, because that is really hot, and that gets hot as well. So just get your little snuff lid, put it out. Job's a good one. I did start last night, but I just managed to make that slit about 1/2 mil too wide. See, this bit's coming right out. It's going to be angled with some decent holes, because I've noticed with this one, where that bottom bit dips into the fluid, once this gets hot, this will start boiling the fluid underneath, and it's a bit tricky. You got boiling alcohol in your stove, it could do something nasty to you. So I'm going to shave most of that off, cut a lot of the bottom bit out, so this bit is above the level of it's about £9 I think that was. Little bargain. Obviously if I had a bigger pot I could have used that stand. It goes that way up. I might try and also get some sort of windbreak. I might have a spare metal biscuit tin somewhere. If it's a nice deep biscuit tin, you can sit that in here and it might keep some of the wind off it. So yeah, that was good. Dragon Rally. It rained during the night. I could hear it on the tent, and then it stopped at about 5:20. So I got up, made a coffee, packed away slowly. Took an hour and a half to pack away because I was just mooching about. It was quite warm. Really good. As usual, met some really nice people we've never met before and might never see again. Absolutely nice as you like. So that's that. Hopefully that'll cure the fuel starvation. I'm going to try and do some more camps this year. We shall see how it goes. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment if you like, or don't if you don't want to. Don't mind, it's alright. Till the next one, goodbye.